Yo, what's good, guys? It's CJ, and welcome back to Let's Build a City, episode 2. And so, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna build some buildings in this episode. I did finish this one area right over here. I added some stone, added some trees, finished the road, fixed this road up right up here because I kind of messed it up. Didn't actually make sense when I was looking back over it, so I fixed it. And over here, this is what we're gonna build. I don't get to end up building all of these buildings this episode. This episode was gonna come out really late. Took longer than I expected to build these buildings. I wanted to build every single one, but I didn't have time. And so let's get right into it. Right now we're gonna build this first building. We're gonna build it out of bricks, just normal bricks. Yeah, brick blocks right there. We're also gonna have some brick stairs, brick slabs, and then polished I can't think of the polished granite. Get granite, yeah. And granite. Because granite in this texture pack looks pretty good. I'm using the city texture pack on bedrock. And some clay blocks. I was gonna use it on the outside, but I end up using it on the interior. And with this style of building, I'm doing something new. I've never tried building like this, like on the other city. Everything was like all the buildings were pretty far apart from each other. These buildings are right up next to each other, and I'm trying to build different type of buildings, expand my type of building style, and make it so every building looks different. I want every building to look different, and if it's made out of the same blocks, like a bunch of buildings apart, like two, three buildings apart from each other. I end up building two brick buildings this episode, and then there's like three different type of buildings in between it because I don't want two brick buildings right next to each other. In my opinion, it didn't come out as good as I think it could have, but I had a good time building it. And I think it came out pretty well. Right now, I'm just grabbing what I need. Debating if I want to use acacia trapdoors in the build. And I was messing around with the new walls, granite walls, brick walls, because they added it so you can make it look good with builds. Uh, I ended up not liking it, but still is a cool feature that I will figure out how to use in different ways. So right now I'm just building up this wall. This is gonna be the front side of the build. I'm just debating on how I want to build this right now. Normally, I actually don't plan out my builds like this with the red concrete, but I did it in this episode just to and I'm probably gonna do it in the future episodes too, just to show off how I kind of how I think of the builds in my head and where they're gonna go. Normally, I just do them wherever I think of in my head, but this is more of a visual representation of what I'm thinking. And I think this is going to be a bunch of buildings, bunch of stores right next to each other, or maybe not stores, but maybe stores, who knows, with either apartment buildings on top or offices on top. One of the two, or both, you never know. Right now I'm just building the windows and the door, door and the windows. Right here I also grab brick walls, I'm pretty sure. Yes, brick walls, because they connect to glass panes, and I think that looks pretty cool. So right here, I'm at a window. And I do end up changing this build a lot. Like, I couldn't not decide on how I wanted to build this brick building. I don't tend to build with brick that often, especially for buildings. Houses, yeah, I'll use it for houses, but for buildings, still trying to get the hang of it, see what looks good, what looks bad, but it came out decent, I guess. And right here, I was just debating on what I want to do. Move the door over one, I don't want to center the door on this build because I think centered doors don't look, they look fine, but I think if you put it off to the side and put a window, I think it looks better in my opinion. And I indent the door by 1 block back just to add that extra length, extra detail of depth, you know, just like that. Okay, so little cut forward. I did decide to actually add in some quartz and quartz pillars, quartz stairs, and slabs because I didn't like the brick on granite. I thought it was too like reddish orangey. Added some white to it, make some extra detail. And this is the side of the building. In the back, I'm adding a porch. I think it adds a little bit extra detail. And I really honestly don't like how these buildings came out. I think I could do way better, but I was just testing out something new, and I think I'm gonna keep it because it compared to other builds, I don't think it's gonna be that bad. But I can do way better. I know I can. It's just that testing something out new, and I still kind of like it a little bit. It's just not like the best, but hey, it's fine. Change those to granite. Also, I'm gonna have to take a bunch of cuts in a lot of these videos because I had around 4 hours, 5 hours of video of me building this city, or building not the city, just these buildings. And so there's gonna be a bunch of big cuts. So I'm not gonna be able to explain everything I build. Next episode, I'm probably gonna add some roads and move on and to skyscraper, and either I will make a tutorial on the Let's Build for a skyscraper, or I will just make a tutorial on this world. So depending on what I do, episode 3 will have the skyscraper tutorial in it, or there'll be a skyscraper tutorial on my channel, but it will not be on the Let's Build, so it will be done by the time episode 3 comes out. But one of the two will happen. I don't know what I'm gonna pick yet, but that's the plan. Right here, I'm just adding some extra detail. I wanted to add some pillars at the bottom, but I didn't like the way it looked. I already knew it would look bad. So I get granite stairs, polished granite stairs, and put them in the back. Make it look like there's some support. Just like that. And then add some detail on the actual porch part too. The more detail, the better. It's not actually you can't over detail. I was gonna say that you can't over detail on a building, but you can. You don't want it to be overly detailed to where you don't know what the heck is going on. I think here I was grabbing trapdoors and testing stuff out. Did not like the way any of the trapdoors looked on the build. I don't know what I was trying here. Again, I'm just trying new things out on the build, so yeah, I end up deciding not to do the trapdoors. I just didn't like the way it looked. Everything I tried, even doing this, I didn't like it. So I just kept it brick. And then add some quartz on the sides. Just like that. Now here, I wanted to add some light on the build so you could see at night. again, because my old city, I didn't really add too much lights, and so you couldn't really play on the city world when it was nighttime. So on this city, I want to make street lamps everywhere, lights coming through the window so you could see it. Right here, I was deciding if I wanted lights in the front of the build, like how on the side it has lanterns on the porch, but I ended up deciding to put the lights behind the windows. I'm gonna be doing that on almost every single build I do. And then I'm also gonna be doing interiors. Episode 3 could be interiors of these buildings too. Don't know yet. So that's actually what I might do. I might do some interiors in episode 3 of these builds, and then do the tutorial on this world as well for a skyscraper. So that might be what I do. But now right here, gotta fill in this wall again and decide on what I'm gonna do for windows because I can't copy the bottom layer. So I end up doing uh, these window designs right here with the walls and the panes. I do like using these walls. I think I'm gonna find out a better way to use them too, but this way is not bad too. Using them around windows like this doesn't look bad. Adds that little extra detail onto the wall too, so it's not all one layer and flat. Kind of like that. I don't know how I feel about that still, but we'll go with it. Now right here on this wall, I'm not really gonna have to detail this wall at all. This empty wall, because the building next to it that is lined with the red concrete will be covering that side of the wall, so I really don't have to detail it. I think I end up just adding in the wall, adding in the design, because I'm gonna be copying pasting this second layer up, just like right here. If I cut to it, I have the chords in already. I'm cutting and pasting. I just filled in the walls because again, it's gonna be covered. I did mess up my copy and paste. Missed half of the porch, so I just gotta fix that real quick. But it's a simple fix. Just take out my slabs, run them across, and then blocks, and then switch from blocks to stairs, blocks to stairs. Get the stairs on top, running the top. Just like that. And then add the lanterns in. Just like that. Yeah, I don't think it looks half bad. It doesn't look good. It could be better. But we will see. I will get better at this type of builds too. For some of you guys, you might think it's good. For some of you guys, you might think it's bad. Now I'm just editing the world edit command so I can copy the entire porch. And now I run in and do the interior. So now I did the interior on the first layer. So now I can copy and paste it. So I copy and paste it. So I copy the interior on the same level. The walls are already copy and pasted, but now I copy and paste the interior. So now there's an interior on it. And then I do it again. I accidentally put a zombie mask on, zombie head. It's a good, using mob heads, it's a good way to detail interiors. Just double checking how it looks, what it is. Copy and paste again. Now I added the extra layers. It does look better. I think it still could look better than this, but I'm content with it at this point. It's not bad. I'm just deciding if I want to add an extra layer or not. I decide I do not want to. So now I will cut until I break all this. Alright, so now I broke all the top, and now I'm adding in black concrete for a black top, and then I'm gonna add air conditioning systems, solar panels, and a bunch of stuff on top to detail it so it looks more realistic from the top layer too. Like, because if you keep your roofs flat, it kind of looks like non-realistic. I mean, it still looks fine. Nobody really is gonna see it unless they're flying in from a high point, but it's still worth doing it. That little extra detail is what makes a good building great. So, little things. So, adding in solar panels. Luckily, on the city texture pack, um, daylight sensors look just like solar panels. So, that's what I'm gonna be using. I'm making it so um, it's sunrise, so I see where the sun was. My plan was I wanted to angle it to where the sun rises, but I ended up changing it because I didn't like the way it looked. Because that would make most sense if it's angled towards the way the sun rises, so the sun's on the solar panels for the most of the time. But I end up thinking it looks stupid, so. Maybe I can think of a better design, but right now, do not like this design. Yeah, kind of looks bad in my opinion. You can't really angle the sunlight or the daylight sensor, so I end up just destroying that idea. And I think about keeping that, and I also think that's stupid, so I get rid of it. And I end up just placing them on the roof, just normally, just like this. It looks fine still. It looks better than what I built before. Making it even on both sides. Four, 4 blocks wide, 2 blocks tall, or 1 block tall, sorry, and then with 2 blocks in between each. Now I'm adding some air conditioning systems on top in the same spot on both sides to make it symmetrical. Then I was thinking about like making a design on the edges just like that. I don't know what I can really make it. I can't really explain what it's gonna look like or what it's supposed to be, but I think it looks pretty good. Okay. Now I'm adding in these little things right here. Don't know what I can really call them. Maybe generators or whatever. I don't know. But I think they look fine, so I keep it. Then I decide, oh, one more solar panel won't hurt. Just like that. That's really all you gotta do. Also added a little design on the top that I didn't show you guys, but that's the design on the top. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna detail these walls by adding some cracks and dents in it with brick stairs. Bricks gotta have some dents in it, just like this. Make it a little bit random too, so I can make it look a little worn down. little bit more realistic. Unless it was a brand new building that's gonna have some cracks in it, I guess. I don't know. And it kind of just like makes it look each wall look different and unique, so it looks better. So I just add in a bunch of cracks. We're just gonna speed this part up. So as you can see, I'm just doing this on every single wall. And the reason why I didn't copy and paste it with the same cracks is because I wanted again make each wall different. If I copy and pasted it, the cracks would be in the same spot every time on every single wall. So just like that. From far away you can't really tell. From close up you can still tell a little bit. It makes that subtle change, subtle difference in the build. You can kind of see the interior. I actually didn't record me making the interior. Let me know in the comments if I should show myself doing the interiors. I think I might anyway, but just let me know if that would be what you guys would want. Even at the bottom layer, again, cracks. Making sure I put cracks on every single wall. Over here, gotta put some more cracks on it, because I didn't do this side. Just like this. And that's about it. That's the cracks. Now, that's that building done. So what we're gonna do is build this next building right over here that's planned. Build this building out of sandstone. Bone block, I was testing it out. Maybe replace the quartz pillars with bone blocks. I didn't really like the way that looked, so I end up just using a different type of sandstone. I also clear some space in my inventory. Keep the concretes because the stone, the concrete, the red, because that's what I'm using to plan and make roads. So I'm just going to keep that in my inventory. Use some sandstone. So we're going to use some cut sandstone, some normal sandstone, and some smooth sandstone. Now right here, I was just testing on what I want to build, how I want to build it. So I'm just testing out the pallets. I decide to go against the bone blocks. Doesn't really look as good as I thought it would in my head. Maybe I'll use it for a different build, but with sandstone it does not work. So what I do end up using is right here. I'm looking for a corner block since I can't use bone blocks. So I don't know what to pick. So right now I'm just picking the glass type that I want to use because I can't think of a corner piece. Right here, again, I was trying bone blocks and I did not think it was going to look good. I was just testing it out because I didn't know what other block to use at first. So right here, just testing out the bone blocks, see how it looks with the wall, just the wall. And then I think I do add the windows. I'm not sure if I add the windows in before I add the new block in for the corners, or I just test out how it looks with the wall and then change it. I think it looks a little too white for the sandstone. The sandstone's like a darker shade. That's a little too light of a shade. So I'm looking around for a different block now. Maybe some terracotta. And then terracotta doesn't really work as a corner block either. It would work for the inside of like the wall, but not a corner block. Also looking around woods, thinking maybe a cool stripped oak or some type of wood would look good. Right there. I do not like that either. And then I'm looking around. I can't decide on what to pick. Then I think, maybe a smooth sandstone. And I use that as I build But later on in this video, I do end up changing the block palette completely. Like, literally, I change all the sandstone into a different kind of block. I'm not going to tell you what type of block yet. You'll be able to see that later on in the video, so just stick around for that. I do end up changing it all off camera because I leave the windows and everything at the same spot. I just changed the blocks that I used to build it, but you'll see that later on. Like I said, doing a little trick where the windows one back so I can use stairs to make it go back, indent it, add some detail. I think it looks good, and then put the terracotta around the glass block so it doesn't look like the glass is just floating. There's walls connected to it at least, and that would be the block that I would use for the interior, the terracotta. And right here I'm just making the design, and I will cut forward to where I have some of this building done. Right here. And I actually cut forward completely. I decided to cut forward completely to this new building because we're running very long video time. This video would have been over an hour long. So I actually already finished the sandstone building, and now I'm building this top for this third building. I will back up and you'll see the building completely. You can see the sandstone building is completely complete. Completely complete. It's completely finished. So right here, again, adding in solar panels, ventilation systems, generators, air conditioners, all that fun stuff. Everything that will make the top of the build look realistic. Line it up the same way. So it's symmetrical. And then I kind of mix it up right here, because I don't want it to look too symmetrical, but it's pretty much symmetrical. I think I add another one of these things. I don't know what to call them. These are actually the air conditioners. Use a little rail trick to make it look like turbines or something going in a circle. I don't know. Fix that daylight sensor because I accidentally left clicked it. And then as you can see, there was really no light on top of the buildings, so I end up doing redstone torches for the smaller builds, and then on the next building that we build is pretty big. I end up using lanterns to cover more area for light, and it makes it so airplanes could see the building. Obviously, these buildings are not tall at all, so it doesn't matter if they have redstone torches or anything on top, but it's fine. Add some light too. I was deciding if I want to do this as well. I added in these little stone brick walls, make it look like ventilation or whatever, or like pipes connecting into these big machines. And then I do put redstone torches on it, but I decide I don't really like the redstone torches on top. So that's what I have right there. Decide, hey, the redstone torches don't look good on top of the walls like that, but I do end up deciding that the redstone torches in the corners look good. I do put them on top of stone brick walls, but then I fly back, take a look at it from far away after I do it on both buildings, and you'll see that it kind of doesn't look as I wanted it to look. Doesn't look as good. They kind of like just poke out, and I don't really like the way it looks with them poking out. So I decided to just get rid of the walls and put the torches in the corner instead, and you can't really see them unless you're flying up on top, and I do like that better. to add some light on top of the roof, but it also makes it so you can still see it when you're flying up at a higher angle. So I do like it that way better. And as you can see, the sandstone build is done. It's pretty small. I detailed it. Now you see there was really I didn't really show it because it was a small build, and I do end up changing it anyway to a different type of block. So you'll see that coming up soon. So this is the big build now that I built. Completely different vibe to the the lighter build, and it's huge. As you can see, I did change the sandstone to stone bricks and a type of concrete in the background. That I think, in my opinion, that looks way better than the sandstone. I did not like the way the sandstone looked next to the quartz on both builds, so I do end up changing it to that. Now this big giant building, I did cut a lot of it too, because now we're running at 30 minutes or close to 30 minutes in the video, and I'm trying to not make these longer than 30 minutes, and this video still came out longer, and I'm trying to get a lot done for this video. So I did skip a lot of the build, but it's basic design, it's just the same thing on top of each other over and over and over again. Alright, so now I'm designing this last build that we're going to build in this episode. These next two next to each other are probably going to be done by the beginning of the next episode. I would like to have this section of these builds done so I can plan something else out that is new. And I will probably also have the roads in front of these and some terraining done. Let me know if I should do that on camera though, because I think my next video is probably going to be a house tutorial or maybe some Rainbow Six Siege gameplay. So let me know if I should make roads in front and leave it on camera and do the terraining with the grass, because obviously I made this whole plot stone just to fill it in with stone, and then whatever I need to change the grass and keep stone and change the roads, I'm gonna do. But right now I'm adding in the door. On this one I really wanted to try to keep the granite in the design. The other one I changed it to quartz pillars, but I did come up with a design with the granite that I did like. I do end up liking it. I skipped the first layer. This whole wall is empty because it's going to be covered by the other two buildings. I did the interior, and now I skip forward to this last part where now I'm going to be filling in the roof, because I did, like, right towards the end. I'm running out of time for this video, and I'm trying to get in as much possible content for you guys at once. Also, let me know in the comments that should I do big cuts like this to where I'm finishing off the build and starting the build. First build, I had enough time to show me building most of it, but for this one and the other ones, I had to make big skips. So would you rather me do more builds in one episode but not show as much of me building it, or would you rather see me do more builds in one episode and see what I can come up with, but you're not going to get to see me build them up as much? You'll see me building them still, but you're not going to get a complete in-depth of me building them or a lot of content of me building them. You're just going to see me build parts of them. And that's that building done right there. I did end up liking this design a lot. It's still, I don't know what it is with the granite and the bricks. I'm not comfortable with it, but this is what we built in this episode. That's about it, guys. Again, let me know if I should change the way I do the builds. Should I leave them to where I show less of the building being built and just more builds being built, or show less buildings being built but more of the building process? Subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment.